With your community connections, I'm Jack Hudson. Today we'll be talking to all of our local elementary school principals about their upcoming Veterans Day program. Veterans Day is something we honor here at SMCSC and are so proud to have as a yearly program in our elementary schools. Good morning, Mr. Crewer, Mr. Schill, Mr. Lord, and Miss Bennett. Thank you so much for joining me today. Mr. Schill, could you begin by telling us what the Veterans Day program is and what it means to you and its significance to your school?
Sure. At South Madison Community Schools, all of our elementaries participate in a Veterans Day celebration of different levels and magnitudes. We're all blessed to have a great community full of support. For me personally, my family is a military family, so I can't tell you how big of a nature this comes to me. We do a lot of preparation at Pendleton Elementary, as do the other elementaries and the principals there as well. But it's a great event. We hope everybody that can that it's a veteran or close to a veteran can come and attend.
Mr. Crewer, I know how long this tradition has been going on at East Elementary between myself, my siblings, and other family members who all went to school there, and I was wondering how that tradition has changed throughout the years.
I don't know how it's changed, Jack. You're going to edit that out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to edit that out. Now it's staying. No.
I don't know.
In fact, it's playing on every question.
Because what I would have done
I don't know.
I don't know, Jack.
It's just
yeah.
continuing running. Awesome.
I think you need to send us that clip.
Right.
I don't know.
We're going to play it in admin meetings.
I don't know. That was a good story.
Yeah,
for
change
next
Jack
time
to
meeting.
Joe. And we'll,
Yeah.
Well, you know, Jack, one of the things that has made our Veterans Day program, I think, really unique from some other that I've seen personally and just heard from not just our colleagues here, but just other colleagues around the area. You know, we get a great turnout of veterans. Since I've been there, connected with East Elementary and South Madison, we've had an increase in the number who are attending every year. You know, we're well over 100 that attend. A lot of them are connected. Some are just from the area who know that that we put on a show for them, a chance to recognize them, and something that we do that I think is pretty neat and that I think is, as I said, unique to something that at East Elementary is we give all of our veterans that are there a chance to introduce themselves, what branch they're from, and what their connection to East Elementary is. And because of the numbers that we have, it takes a long time, but it's well worth it. It's great. And seeing the kids, the grandkids that are there for their grandpas, nieces, nephews, kids, even the wives of and husbands of some people there, it's a really unique tradition and one that I'm proud to see continue at East.
Mr. Lord, Miss Bennett, anything to add?
well, at Pendleton Elementary School Intermediate, we just started the tradition last year. Before that, we always joined Pendleton Primary in the celebration, and we decided to create our own celebration last year so that we can recognize and celebrate our veterans, and we include the veterans as well as their families so that we can recognize them during that celebration time. All of our students, in particular our student council, they plan and create the celebration. They have speaking parts, they do singing, they also create media presentations. So we really make our celebration more student-driven rather than me doing the celebration for them. So it's really a neat experience, I think, for the students and for the veterans that attend. We had a great turnout last year, and I'm expecting just as good a turnout this year, hopefully better, and we can show how much we appreciate all of the veterans, both in the area and family members of our students.
Do you think this event helps build student leadership?
Absolutely. I believe it does, yes.
Yeah, a couple things we do kind of unique is that with our Kate Mini Grant money, we were able to buy grade-appropriate books about Veterans Day. Our sixth graders are going around to the various classrooms, K through 5, and reading these books and getting those books as part of their classroom library. Our sixth graders are going to Gravelon Cemetery. It's a local cemetery in Green Township that has 800 veterans buried there. And so we will go over there and we will place American flags on the grave of each veteran.
Just like both of my colleagues had mentioned prior to, and Mr. Curry even before that, we do quite a few different things as well. We even have a Pendleton Heights own Connor Dunn that's going to be playing taps for us. We focus a lot on the education of Veterans Day, what it comes from, why it's important in our nation's history, and why we need to continue it as well. So I think all of our elementaries we have a great program we hope people can attend.
The following questions go out to all of you. Over the years, possibly decades, you've all been working throughout SMCSC. You've seen so many veterans come through these events who served as far back as the World Wars. How has the dynamic changed among soldiers over time?
Well, for us at Maple Ridge, it's really different because some of the students, this is our 17th year of operation. And so over those 17 years, we now have children who went to Maple Ridge come back who are veterans. So that's unique for us. We don't have too many World War veterans anymore. Most of ours, we do have some Korean veterans that come back. Most of ours are Vietnam veterans. But like the other buildings do, it's really cool to see them introduce themselves, talk about how they are tied to Maple Ridge and the service that they gave to our country.
You know, Jack, one of the things that I always find amazing is just the amount of emotion that the veterans share, and that they also inform the students about how special it makes them feel to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and that they can share that, pass that knowledge on to kids. Like Mr. Lord has shared, we have veterans that come through our school system that I've had a couple kids that I've taught that are in the military now, that they've come to the programs. I think it's just part of our community. It's an embedded thing in our community that we love our veterans and we want to show our appreciation.
Yeah, I'll second what Mr. Schill said there with the emotion as well, and and that's our staff and our students feel that as well, and from the veterans that come to our shows or our celebrations, as well as the other elementaries in South Madison, there's such a great appreciation from them that they often share with me and our other teachers and staff members, just that we are there and we're doing something for them, taking time out of our day. Our students are putting on this celebration for them, and there's just a really high level of appreciation and thankfulness on their part for what we're doing to try to honor them and the service that they've given us.
On that note, has the appreciation and respect of students changed over the years?
I think it's increased more than ever. I think we've come to appreciate our veterans more as a country, and so it's reflected in what our children believe here at the elementary schools.
That's great. And on that note, what kind of feedback do you often receive from the veterans that come to join you?
Oh, they're all very appreciative of all of the work that we've done to recognize them and celebrate them. They thank us, and I'm sure the other principals get the same reaction. It's very much appreciated.
I know that younger students are often less appreciative than adults or even high schoolers, as war just seems so unreal to us when we're younger. Do you believe these events help teach students the importance of unity, of being a team, and being proud of our country?
I do, and I think it kind of echoes what Mr. Schill said earlier about there's a tremendous camaraderie that's in the building and in our gym where we hold that celebration that, to me, you can really feel, and I think that our students feel that whenever those veterans are there. They're sharing their stories, they're sharing who they are and how they're connected to East Elementary, whether it is a child, a grandchild, a great-grandchild. I think I've always been impressed in the 13 years that I've been a part of those celebrations at East, the level of respect that our kids have shown, and they do get it. I believe that there is a level of understanding there when you see these men and women who are grown men and women showing so much emotion when they are talking about what they have done and where they served and what unit they were with and their connection to East Elementary. So I definitely believe that.
Do you think any of these veteran stories help inspire kids to one day hopefully go into the military?
Absolutely. Several of them get their first love of it, if you will, Jack. I've had several that have come back and kids that have asked to have those people there for some career influence even. A lot of times that we've also found out that might be their spark, if you will, that, hey, I didn't know that I could only I thought military was just for shooting and things of that nature. They find out about the doctors and everything else that's involved, the veterinarians that's even in our military, all the different services, mechanics and airplane technology. They start to learn that it's not just one mode that you see on TV, but there's so much more career attributions that are in the military.
Ms. Bennett, I know previously you said how involved your students are in making these events happen. How do you guys help prepare your students for these events?
Well, we're trying to read the books, like we said, to the lower grade students in order to try to get them, hey, this is what a veteran is. So that word, especially like our kindergarten and first graders, so they've heard it before they come down, and they have an idea of what it means to be a veteran and what they're trying, and what all the special service that they gave to us. So those are the kind of things we try to do to educate them to get ready to come down to see the veterans.
That's great. And is there anything specifically that the teachers or music classes do to get ready for this day?
Great question.
Yes.
I think in all of our buildings, the students, the staff, the music teachers, I mean, it's a whole school mindset and education frame, if you will, where we all work together to help them all learn different ways that they can show their thankfulness, whether that's the music teachers helping out with songs and learning new ways of singing, patriotic songs, things of that nature, or teachers sharing the education of what a veteran is, what our history shows, things of that nature. It's our whole school, and that's why we're so proud to bring these opportunities to share with our community.
And for those veterans who may be listening, how can they get involved or join in these events?
Well, we would love to have them join us at, I'm sure, each one of our programs. Ours is that Monday at the 12th. Ours is at 1:30 in the afternoon. And I believe each of the principals have a different time if you want to share.
Yeah. Ours is at Maple Ridge is at 2 o'clock on that Monday the 12th.
Ours is on Friday, November 9th, and that's at 9 o'clock in the morning, where we hope we can pack the house.
Mm-hmm. Pendleton Elementary Primaries is going to be the 12th at 9 a.m. So hopefully with all of our varying times and dates, veterans can come and show up.
For those veterans planning on attending, what will they expect with the day's events? How all will they be honored besides just being able to share their stories?
Well, we've got cards for them also. We also invite some veterans to come back that have ties to our building to come back and speak to our children. So we honor them that way. We also decorate our hallways and make sure the entrance to our building is beautiful for them to come in.
Is there some sort of slideshow or presentation that is presented?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We do, yes. At East Elementary, we have a media presentation that involves pictures of family members that have been, that are veterans or currently serving, that we do show. Our music teacher, Heather Walton, does a great job preparing all of our classes to be involved in singing some different songs. Our third grade, on the Thursday prior, will actually have a patriotic musical that they do on that Thursday, November 8th at 6 o'clock. And then some of those songs we'll sing that Friday morning at 9.
Before we end, do you guys have any personal stories about veterans or any last comments that you'd like to share?
My husband is a 30-year veteran of the Air Force, and his service to the country is something to be admired, not just by me, but by others. It really makes me so proud of him and what he has done for our country and the time that he has given to our country. It just makes me appreciate all veterans even more, just by knowing him and what he has offered the rest of the United States.
Yeah.
One thing that I'd just like to share, Jack, and I'm sure that we all feel the same, that, if they cannot attend, we do want to thank them for their service ahead of time. We're very appreciative as a community for everything that they've done, their sacrifice. They're willing to always be there for us at any time. Our just sincere thanks.
Thank you all so much for joining me today, and thank you to everyone in our armed forces, local law enforcement, our legislators, judiciary members, and everyone else who allows us to live in a free and wonderful country. Thank you for listening. I'm Jack Hudson. Until next time.